School is back in session for the more than 31,000 students in Des Moines, and one of the many initiatives continuing this year is dropout prevention and re-engagement. We'll talk more about these efforts and a special Reach Out to Dropouts event next on Classroom Connections. Hi, and welcome to Classroom Connections, a public affairs discussion on issues important to students, teachers, and parents in the Des Moines Public Schools. I'm your host, Sarah Taylor. The new school year is underway, and teachers and administrators are focused on challenging students to achieve in the classroom. Still, there are some students who don't show up for class at the beginning of the school year. Over the past 3 years, the district, with help from many community partners, has added several new programs to assist struggling students at every grade level. The third Reach Out to Dropouts event has been planned for this fall. Here to talk with us about this event and other efforts are Des Moines Public Schools Superintendent Nancy Sebring and the President of United Way of Central Iowa, Shannon Cofield. Thank you both for joining me.
Thank you. Thank you.
So Shannon, what is the Reach Out to Dropouts event?
Well, the event will take place on September 24th, and essentially for students who have not returned the first couple of weeks to school, community volunteers as well as district DMPS volunteers will go door to door in small teams and try to talk to students and get them to re-enroll back in school. And we're very appreciative that Aviva is our sponsor again this year, corporate sponsor.
Okay. So Nancy, tell us about the details about who's involved on the 24th and what exactly will happen.
Well, we're currently requesting that volunteers sign up to participate in this walk, and all volunteers will go through a training session so they know exactly what is expected of them. But the actual event is on the 24th, and it's very exciting and it's really fun to participate in. We move about the city in teams of 3 to 5 people, and we have names and addresses of students that have not shown up for school in the fall, so we're assuming that they may be still in the city and have dropped out of school. So we're going door to door and talking with those students and those parents of those students to encourage them to re-enroll in school and to share information about the multiple pathways to graduation that we now provide. We have only been able to provide those multiple pathways through the partnerships with community agencies, in particular United Way.
Okay, and I know both of you have been involved in this event for the past few years. Shannon, do you have a story to tell us about a student who re-engaged?
Last year, I was on a team that went to a student's home, and the father, when we arrived, said, you know, my son's asleep, but definitely want you to come back and talk to him. So we were very excited, so our team went off and knocked on a few more doors and talked to a few more families, and we did come back, and it was interesting because not only was the student there and expecting us, but several of his friends were there as well. So he came to the door, and fortunately the principal, who had been this young man's involved in this young man's life when he was in elementary school, knew the student, and that was just a great connection. And so he came on out, and you know, we just said, yeah, you know, we really want you to come back to school, we miss you. And you could tell he was touched and kind of surprised and maybe even a little positively overwhelmed that the community was there to, you know, ask him to come back. But I think what was most rewarding for me, in addition to his just decision to come back, was the encouragement of his friends that were standing around saying, come on, you need to go back to school, you can do it. And you know, that's, I think, was really what also encouraged him to get in the car and go back up to Lincoln and re-enroll.
Wow, that's amazing.
It was great.
Wow. So Nancy, I know the district and the community have really stepped up efforts to bring dropouts back to school and also keep students in school. Tell us about some of the successes.
Well, we've implemented actually many different strategies to prevent students from dropping out in the first place, but then also to re-engage them if they have, for whatever reason, decided to drop out of school. You know, I often describe these students as those for whom life has interrupted their education. They may have become teen parents. They may have to work to help sustain the family. They may have experienced failure or other kinds of distress at school, and they don't know how to solve that problem, so they see it as futile going back to school. They may have encountered a mental health issue or a substance abuse issue, and we can help them find the solutions for all of those problems, both before they drop out and after they have dropped out. We have, as I've said earlier, many pathways to graduation. We have implemented our Future Pathways program, which is individualized project-based learning for high school students. We have maintained our Scavo Alternative High School. We have academic support labs that have been funded through United Way, so students who have missed school in significant amounts can come in and catch up and earn credits online with the support and help and supervision of a teacher. And we also have students who can take a partial day of classes and then work part-time. You know, there is no state law that says you must graduate in May of your senior year at age 18. We can serve students up to age 21, and we try to encourage them to find the pathway that best fits their needs. We're adding a child care center to a facility near East High, so young parents who are responsible for supervising their infants during the day because perhaps the grandparents are at work will have a place to, you know, a safe and healthy place to provide daycare for that child so they can attend school. There are any number of things that we have going on, and we really strongly encourage our students to come in and find out more about those options and find a plan for them that works with what their needs are at this particular point in time and works for their family. And we have had great response. Since we began these re-engagement efforts 2 years ago, 87 students that re-engaged in school did graduate. So they're on to a pathway that is much brighter down the road than it would be otherwise. And so we just try that personal touch in the Reach Out to Dropouts walk of actually standing face to face with students saying, we want you to come back and we have a place for you in our school.
Wonderful. So how can folks find out more about the Reach Out to Dropouts walk?
We can go, excuse me, you can go to United Way's website or the Des Moines School District's website and sign up there. You can also call 515-246-2504.
Great. Well, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you. Thank you.
And thank you for joining us. Don't forget, this and all other Classroom Connections episodes are available on our website. For Classroom Connections, I'm Sarah Taylor. Thanks for watching.